It's like if the Bye Bye Man didn't suck completely.
I know what you're talking about. Bye Bye Man's a masterpiece.
Of a different kind.
Yes. I will not tolerate Bye Bye Man heresy in this car.
Sure. All right, I guess we found the one Bye Bye fan.
That's what they call us. Or me.
No, that's what I'm saying. There is no us, it's you.
No, it's Grant too.
Okay. So we just saw Smile.
Yes, we did.
Did not take it seriously, but
We just had a pretty good time with it.
no, we had a great time. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not okay. To TLDR the thing, it is a decently fun horror movie that has plenty of jump scares, plenty of little tropes, plenty of fake outs, and it's actually like competently made.
Yeah.
But also has one of the most difficult to root for protagonists that I've seen in a while.
They don't make it easy.
It's hard to sympathize with her past a certain point, and there is a point where she just, like, every time she made a decision, I was like, why don't you just, like...
She was very inconsistent.
Just do this. Like, why don't, like...
Yeah.
People are having reasonable reactions to you doing what you're doing right now, and you are a fucking psychologist who deals with extreme cases regularly. How are you not seeing that there's a better way to go about this? So,
to be fair, panic-induced minds don't exactly think logically. As much as two jackasses sitting in the front row of a theater making commentary about their actions.
well, to also be fair, I don't care. When you're
I don't
watching
think that's really fair.
When you're fair to the imaginary dumb lady,
Yes!
I don't care. It's okay. Part of movies like this, part of the fun of movies like this sometimes is just like being like, I wouldn't do that, even if sometimes it makes sense.
For sure.
But there is definitely a couple of moments in this movie where it's the dumb white lady syndrome, where it's like, don't go into your backyard like, hello?
Like, what's the worst thing I can do in this situation?
Yeah, like, what is the dumbest way to approach this
The
right
point where,
now?
like, half the concept of Jordan Peele's Nope with just them going, not doing that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really appreciate about Jordan Peele movies is that fucking the characters, when faced with a situation that you should very well go like, they had the right reaction. They even did that in Barbarian with...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And
also not.
And also not.
In the best way I've ever seen. But yeah, in this movie, like, my biggest problem with it was just the main character, and it just honestly made it more fun to just laugh at it
on her
as it went on.
Yeah.
So
that being said, like, considering I went in this with like no expectations, I didn't think the trailer made it look very good.
no, it had the trailer makes it look way worse than it is. There's a lot more skill that went into this making this movie.
But that being said, like, when the scares do, like, there are some surprisingly effective jump scares in there, which saying something, because you and I have seen a shit ton of jump scares in the years we've been doing this.
And the trailer ruined like half of them.
Yeah, but like the ones that weren't in the trailer are pretty effective. Like the one with the sound bit, I thought was pretty good.
Sound bit. Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
And so like stuff like, without giving anything away.
Yeah.
Like, there's bits like that in there that I think are done pretty well.
Yeah.
And the general design of things, again, without going to spoilers, is pretty fucking fantastic.
Yeah. The I will say that as this guy's first feature, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is really impressive. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when he gets like more budget and like more experience under his belt. Like, this was good. And it was definitely really enjoyable. I would easily give it like an 8 out of 10. Like,
I would too, yeah.
It's a solid movie. It gives you what you want, and if you want to take it seriously and actually be scared, you totally can. I can totally see that being plausible for some people.
Like,
but if you want to sit there like two fucking assholes and like laugh at it and not take it seriously from the start, you can have a blast doing that too, and that's what we did.
But like, there are some genuinely chilling atmospheric scenes in there.
Even then, some scenes I was like, oh fuck, this is
So like, I'm with you. Like, yeah, we made a lot of jokes watching this, and we were having a pretty good time. That being said, there were some genuinely atmospheric shots, or just like subtle moments where you're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
because like the cinematography in this movie. Clearly, like, you mentioned at one point, like, somebody's watched Kubrick. Like, there's definitely those slow shots. There's definitely some, like, this person has clearly watched some A24 movies. I felt like there are a couple shots in there that really felt like Ari Aster style shots. Like,
especially like the frequently like upside down thing.
Yeah, like the drone shots that they had and the upside down thing they did a couple times. Like it knows what it's doing there. And something I think that it does that is a little more subtle that a lot of people don't notice in a lot of movies is the sound design.
Yeah.
And this goes everywhere from the score, which is fucking amazing. I was really impressed by the score. The score takes an unconventional approach. The production of the music is not your standard like instrumentation and stuff. You have all kinds of weird like textures and sounds and like noises that they use to make it. There's one point where they literally use sirens and a train going by kind of sound, but that's not present in the scene. It's part of the music. And it's really effective in creating this kind of hallucinatory bad mushroom trip in the middle of the city kind of fucking feeling at times.
Yeah, for sure.
But the other side of that is it's something that I really love when movies do, where basically whoever's in charge of the sound for the film, what they did as they set all this up was the textures of the things the characters are doing and the things around them are very pronounced in the mix. Like when someone is like washing their hands in the sink, you hear the sound of the sink very clearly, and you hear the sound of like the water dripping into the metal sink bin very clearly. It's not like, oh, it's kind of quieter because it's a smaller sound in the background. Like, it is as loud as everything else in the scene. And it's kind of subtle because it's not really like,
bombastic.
It's not intense and in your face, but it really does this amazing... When it's done right, which it is in this movie, it has this great effect where it kind of leads to this heightened sensory state where you feel like everything's kind of close, like everything's just a little too, like, a little too real at every moment. Yeah. And this is true with everything throughout the movie. And it's subtle. It's really subtle. It's not something a lot of people notice, but I'm, sound nerd, so I notice weird little shit like this. And
no, I mean, like, that's what makes, like, a memorable horror movie. I think more people get credit for is sound design. Like, I remember one of my favorite horror movies of the last, like, decade is the first Don't Breathe, which had immaculate sound design, and that was one of the big reasons why it worked, is because it was so meticulously designed. Yeah,
they do a real good job. So, that being said, the technical aspects of the movie,
very well done.
Fucking great.
Characters.
The lighting is also very good.
Lighting is very good.
That's another fucking thing that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to. But like, this is one of those things where every now and then there's a shot and you're like, whoa, this looks cool.
Yeah, so, especially when we get towards the climax.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later.
But the characters.
But definitely where they kind of... Where the technicals definitely carry a lot of the weight from that point.
Yeah. There are... The thing about it is that, like, there were moments in this movie that were played straight. Like, the whole movie is played completely straight. But there are moments in the movie that, to me, were just fucking hilarious.
There are. Mostly when she starts figuring out what's going on and she's trying to explain it to other people, and everyone has the same reaction of... What the fuck?
And she does it all in the wrong order. Like, there's a point where she actually, like, gathers some kind of... something that could, like, be seen as evidence for an actual argument to be made. And instead of sitting someone down and being like, okay, look, just work with me.
Yep.
This is going to be kind of freaky, but I need you to pay attention to how these things are connected. And then go through that. And then follow that up with, like, okay, so I think this is happening to me. She opens out the gate like, I think I'm cursed. And it's like, people are like,
You know what it reminds me of in a weird backwards way? I, Frankenstein, which is a movie that I remember.
I didn't see it. I remember it in the same way that I remember that, like, the Van Helsing movie directed by the director of The Mummy exists.
Yep.
Like, it's in that genre of
Which is in the movie I love for unironic reasons.
Yeah, weirdly, like, bizarre fucking sci-fi sort of horror, but not really.
But anyway, the reason I bring it up is because there's a point where just James McAvoy as Victor Frankenstein's having an amazing time in that movie.
Isn't Daniel Radcliffe?
Daniel Radcliffe is Igor.
Oh my god!
And it turns
So
out
good.
is that the hump he has isn't like a hump; it's just a cyst, and it just really needs to be drained.
It's so gross.
Like where he's like attacks the poor man, like sticks a needle in a hose, and just like dumps it in a bucket, and then he throws the bucket out to the street, and you just hear a on the street. But anyway, Victor Frankenstein, I Frankenstein, it's fucking great.
I need to see this now.
Or Victor Frankenstein. But anyway, the part in particular is just where he's like walking down with Igor down the street. And he's like, "All right, we're going to a dinner party. Don't embarrass me." And he immediately cuts to him at a table, just slamming the table, going, like sperm, babies in a bucket. We don't need men anymore. Or like something like that, and then the woman just goes like,
smash cut.
just like, then what do we need women for? And he goes, exactly. That level of intensity. Victor Frankenstein, highly underrated. I adore it.
Okay, that sounds like a good one.
Anyway, so it's that kind of low disconnect of like, hey, I'm a psychologist. I know how to explain to people read and understand. Versus ghosts, spirits. I'm cursed. She was cursed. Smiling demons. I'm not crazy.
Like, it's funny because this movie starts with her not believing someone.
Yep.
Doing the exact same thing, and she's just like, I'm going to approach this exactly the same way, like
Yep.
with everybody, no matter how many times this approach fails me.
And then when she finally does show the evidence, it's just like, here, look at this, and you just like murdered bodies with no context, and it's like, Jesus.
No, she doesn't try to. She just like the folders open in her arms, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, no, it's great.
So there's stuff like that. There's some awkward scenes like when the husband's first introduced, and he just kind of like, hi, honey, how was your day?
Yeah, no, his performance at the beginning is like super unempathetic.
Like, thank God it gets better, because if it was like that note the entire time, that would have been tough.
But I do love how his reaction when he drives up and there are like cops around is not like to be worried and rush out of the car and be like, what's going on? Is everything okay? It's like, okay. Like, it's totally not a concern.
I feel like there's only so many ways you can react to that.
One of them is concerned that there are cops at your house. Like, is everything okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
Why was I not notified? Like, but then, oh God, what was, oh man,
This review got totally derailed.
No, it's fine. No, I think we're still basically on topic here, because there's that one scene where she's freaking out in her car and it just like pans over to like her nephew just watching through the window.
Oh yeah, and that's never brought back up again.
It's not brought back up again. It's just a kid like staring at her and being like, and like, it's weirdly hilarious.
Like, I think Aunt Rose is losing it, Mom.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's little touches in there that are not. They're not like barbarian funny, where it is clearly just a joke in the middle of the rest of this great horror movie.
Barbarian was definitely playing it up.
Yeah, this is a little more subtle with that humor, but I swear there is comedy deliberately in this movie. There cannot not be.
Feel like it is too.
Yeah.
Like you can't write some of those scenes in the way that it's done and not realize that it's silly when you really look at the end of the broad strokes.
And there are some genuinely cool fucking scary moments too.
Yeah, there are.
I really appreciated, like, especially near the very end, there's a couple moments that are like, I kind of saw that coming, but the way they did it when they actually did it, pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, there were some parts you and I just looking at the chair like, that was fucking sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
That was awesome.
And we don't do that often.
No.
So, like, give this some credit there. Absolutely.
And I'm always a fan of good design, especially like in horror movies with anything involving like supernatural stuff. Again, I'm trying really hard to dance around spoilers, but anytime that involves anything you have to get creative in the design, I'm always like 100% down for.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I feel like from the trailers you can already discern like how the thing is passed from person to person.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to pass but even then you're not sure if it's like
So there's a point in the movie where, obviously she's going to try to isolate herself.
Which I always felt like was option A.
It feels like the natural conclusion but like it takes her a while to get there. But when it gets there, what they do with her isolation, like basically turns it into like this own little like mini Silent Hill in her own fucking making, and
kind of like 1408 kind of.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
that was
I honestly I wish that part of the movie was longer.
I agree.
It was way too short, and it had a lot of potential. I think that they should have worked with that a bit more.
And the design of the spirit, or whatever it is, when they finally reveal it in its full form, and like
its final form, or something.
Final form. I was like, that's fucking cool.
It was unexpected, and it was pretty effective.
Like, that was a cool fucking design.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, if I remember nothing else from that movie, I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Because that was like, I don't know who drew that up or who like did all that stuff, but damn.
Yeah. And the fact that it like pretty sure, at least partially, that reveal was like a practical effect.
Yeah, it did look like probably either really good CGI or they built some models.
I feel like it was a mix.
Yeah, I feel like it was a mix.
We'll talk more about it when we get to spoilers, but like, or not, whatever. But like,
yeah.
I
feel like we're kind of already there.
We're towing the line. Towing the line. So, it is a good, fun, solid fucking Halloween movie. Go see it. Enjoy. Like we've had a pretty solid spat of horror movies. There haven't been a lot of it, but the ones that have been there have been pretty fucking decent.
I'll take this over just a year of crappy horror movies that end.
Yeah, like I mean, this Barbarian, Bodies, and
can you consider Bodies horror?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically like a slasher whodunit kind of thing.
I guess. I don't know.
It is played like horror. It has violence and gore and murder.
Okay.
Like there is an element of fear of like who's gonna die next, like kind of deal.
I suppose. Especially
on the first watch.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, after that it's just a comedy. I recommended.
Yeah, like,
good stuff.
Considering I thought this movie was going to suck ass, I walked away pretty pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Pretty sure, unfortunately, Halloween Ends looks like it's going to be the worst horror movie.
Probably, honestly, because that one already feels like it lost the plot from the first one.
Yeah, we'll see.
I still think it's hilarious that the first one was literally about like, hey.
I don't want to get into it, man.
Okay.
I love the Halloween movies. This is unfortunate.
Anyway, so
God, Halloween Kills was so bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was so bad.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
spoilers.
Spoiler time.
Fucking
Miyazaki fucking teeth demon thing.
Miyazaki.
I can be like Spirited Away kind of vibes a little bit, like. Really dial up like the.
That is not what I felt.
Just like dial up to 11, and
the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was not fucking Studio Ghibli.
Well, I was more like thinking like the what's the No Face demon?
Oh, I remember No Face, but like I get what you meant, but at the same time, like no, for me.
Fair enough. All right.
Also, I do want to show you one of the alternate posters. Which is cool now having seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool. So Rose is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
She absolutely she gets evidence of the connection between the different murders, has a fucking file folder full of them, and just goes around just yelling at people that she's cursed. When people, when her husband asks how she's doing, she's like, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. When her fucking therapist asks her, she lies about it.
Yeah.
She is absolutely, throughout the whole thing, avoiding any kind of action that would, help. And granted, whenever she does tell people, you can say it might be because she's already so far gone that she has no way to appear anything but crazy. And also that she has been avoiding them so much that they don't really have faith in what she's telling them.
Yeah.
But she also approaches it like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Which she should know better than to do. Because she's a therapist.
Yeah, because thing is when you present the evidence as is, like Joel buys into it pretty easily. Yeah.
That's the thing. Joel was like, "What the fuck are you showing me?" And then he looks into it more, and he's like, "This is weird how this lines up."
Yeah.
And then she tells him, and he's like, "Okay, that's fucked up, but I don't know how else to explain this shit." That could have worked with any of the other people. I feel like her husband may have believed her if she actually fucking followed through with that. I believe that her therapist may have even fucking believed her if she gave her the evidence. Like, there's evidence. There's evidence that you had no part in, like, creating. Like, there's a storyline here. Tesla sounds so weird. Yeah, right. It's like a fucking weird-ass theremin. But yeah, the when she eventually goes and locks herself up.
Yeah, which was like, again, the smart play.
Yeah, it was the smart play. She should have done it way sooner. Honestly, she should just fucking kill herself. But I mean, when you're cursed with that kind of thing, you don't have a choice.
I get what you're saying.
Either you're gonna murder somebody or you're gonna fucking kill yourself. You're alone in your house. What do you think the next step is? This thing is going to fucking terrorize you into leaving. Or wait until there's someone else around and then make you kill yourself. Like, it's so simple. So
you know what? Just like what I was thinking of.
Commit to the bit. Fucking die. Like,
what I was thinking of during that sequence was like, she doesn't have any food there. What if it just like waits until she goes to like McDonald's drive-thru or something? Right. Just sort of like, hey, can I have a Big Mac meal?
And the drive-thru person's like, again. Like, the way the demon dies is that the drive-thru employees are so jaded already, they're not even slightly upset. They're just like,
Demon's sitting there like, what the like, that's the real way to end the curse. Just do it.
Carla, we got another one.
Just do it like in a Burger King parking lot.
Right. Burger King makes more sense. If you're going to Burger King, you're already that far gone. What do you have to live for at that point? Like,
oh my god!
Sorry, this got dark.
Jesus, so much slander on Burger King.
I'm just what? What do they got to offer? A Whopper? Come on.
Okay.
It's look, either be trash or be good. If you're gonna be trash, embrace it. Be McDonald's. If you're gonna be fucking weird trash for stoners, be Jack in the Box. If you're gonna be like an attempt to be decent, be In-N-Out or be fucking Five Guys. Like, if you're gonna fucking pretend you're a burger joint and just charge like $25 for a combo, be Shake Shack. But Burger King, where does it sit in this fucking thing? They have decent fries. Who gives a shit about anything else? And this is my fast food rant. Okay. So anyway.
I mean, we've had weirder rants, I want to say. It's up there though.
Sure.
I mean, there's also that time that our fucking was it Man from U.N.C.L.E. review got derailed by a dissertation about the Human Centipede movies.
Look, I have way stronger feelings about the Human Centipede movies than I do about any fast food. All right, I will fucking have that conversation with any. Honestly, it's been so long. I think we should have it again sometime. Honestly, I have the movie trilogy. I have the movie Centipede at my house.
I 100%
the exclusive Blu-ray where Tom Six edited the 3 movies together to be one long movie.
That's a lot of Human Centipede.
I've been waiting for a chance to watch it, and you should watch it with me.
I will think about it.
Good. All right. That's all I ask. If we do that, we should review it.
I might as well get something out of it.
No, really. I think like that would be a good thing to do. Look, I have seen so many weird, fucked up movies in my life.
I know.
I would be happy. Like, we could bring back the indie bucket and just do it with like weird, disturbing horror movies. Like, it's fine. I also have those movies that no one else has fucking seen because they're only on DVD, not on streaming, not on Blu-ray. Like, I have movies.
I know you do.
That are like weird little curiosities. Like, let's fucking do it. You can have the indie bucket. You can have the curiosity cabinet. Alliteration helps.
I do like it.
Pitching it.
All right.
Think about it.
I will.
Anyway, anyway, Burger King sucks.
Those are stupid.
And
everyone is right to have the reaction they have.
Everyone in the movie is right to react the way they do. I don't understand why she reacts the way she does. It's very hard to root for her as the movie goes on. Like, I was very much trying to be on her side. I'm like, okay, she's freaking out a little. But then, like, it just gets so much worse, and she gets so, like, she literally opens this thing with fucking the same attempt to tell her husband that this thing is some kind of cursed demon that's following her, and she's seeing something no one else can see, and she's freaking out, and he has the same reaction she does when she's originally told it. And then when he calls her therapist, she treats it like a betrayal, and she's like, I confided in you, and you betrayed me. It's like, bruh, like this is just like, this is unhealthy. You two should not be together.
It does get to a point where even they portray her sister as like this really peppy, smug, just uptight, class A, entitled broad.
Her sister and her sister's
equally awful husband
are the worst.
They are the worst. But even then, when they're having the sequence and she's like when she's trying to tell her about this, you're kind of on the sister's side.
Yeah, you're kind of like, I hate her and she sucks, but like,
she's not wrong.
Yeah, she's not her reaction here is also equally fair. Like,
yeah.
But also one of the funnier sequences of the movie.
Yeah.
One of the funnier sequences.
Well, to a point.
Well, to a point. This movie really digs into like parental death trauma and like familial intergenerational trauma for some emotions, and I don't think it handles it as well as it could have.
No, I won't say it doesn't hit on some real things though.
It definitely hits on some real points, but like I feel like it also is kind of just using it as a kind of like extra, like dressing for the salad. Like it's not making it like a real point of the movie so much as just like, we need something to drive the emotional core of this.
Like if it was made more central to the thesis of the movie, I feel like it probably would have more impact.
Yeah. Also, the way that they bring it back in the end is kind of like,
it's effective to a point. Again, I have my own personal bias on that.
No,
so
I understand.
That gets into that. No, like here's my point though.
Yeah.
It's more like, but like even I was getting to a point where like when they started saying, it was when she said the line, "But you're a monster." That's when it lost me.
Yeah. It takes this thing that is a very serious, like if you're gonna go that hard with the kind of emotional level of what you're dealing with. The way you handle it, the way you resolve it should not be like a scene of that is basically on the equivalent of like, God, like there's so many movie scenes where the character like finally goes and confronts their demons and yells like, "You don't control me anymore. I moved on." They like take their power back or whatever. But we've also seen plenty of movies where that's kind of done in a weird like slipshod kind of way, and this kind of veers a little too much towards the latter.
It toes the line. I'm not gonna say it's like awfully done because like I can't.
That's what I'm saying. It leans towards it a little too much. It's not that, but it could have been better. Like
just based on some of the dialogue, I feel like someone who had a pass of the draft for this had some experience with it, because I was like, I can't point. It's like, oh well, that I understand. Then it's followed by some other stuff. It's like that feels more schlocky.
Yeah.
So like
I don't know. It felt like they wanted to include it in the movie as a serious thing, but also wanted to make a fun horror movie on top of it.
I feel like it was probably a bigger theme in an earlier draft.
Yeah. I want to, like, honestly, I would be down to see that movie in, like, the style of Hereditary.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too. Yeah. So you can make that work, definitely.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah. And, yeah, so, but, like, this isn't that movie.
No.
So,
and what came after
mileage
that,
may vary.
Yeah, what came after that sequence also kind of made up for that shortcoming.
Yeah. Okay, so when the monster takes its final form, it is cool as fuck. And honestly, I don't think there's a reason to discuss the details of at least the initial reveal.
Yeah.
Or that aspect of it. Because, like, there's only so much you can say about it, and it's just a cool moment. But as far as the final point where, you know, again, spoiler territory, hardcore, but the monster wins, predictably enough. The moment where it finally peels off the, like, monster version of the mom's face.
Yeah, and just
like,
reveals
it
again.
Just puts its hands in and just tears its hand, like, the skin off the face. And the reveal is this really cool fucking, like, multi-jawed grinning design underneath.
Yeah, Yeah, like that's when I go like
we're
that's
like, fuck
so
yeah.
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, anytime you get a cool creature feature design in there, I'm always gonna be game. Even if the rest of the movie's crap, if you have a cool monster in there, it's like I'll still watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this movie had this moment where it presented, like, it's so rare to see a unique, interesting monster design these days.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a mind-blowing, crazy thing, but it was interesting enough for both of us to be like, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, like the way the reveal was done, the actual design, the way it moved, it kind of lengthy and crouched around.
And again, I think the skin being peeled off the face was CG, or at least a CG transition between two states. But and I think what was underneath was practical effects, because it looked way too good.
If it was all CGI, it's really fucking good CGI.
Yeah, fucking incredible. And the shot after it where it's trying to get into her is also pretty cool.
Yeah, so like, honestly worth it. To get that point, because that's gonna stick with me for that imagery. Gonna stick with me for a while.
And again, at the very, very end of the movie, the very ending, I had a problem with, because
dude just got turn around.
The whole point is it passes itself into you because you watch the suicide, and it's horrifying. Okay, cool. So
why aren't you?
If you know this, if you know how this works, and you see her, like, about to do the thing, wait for her to light the match, and maybe, like, touch it to herself, and then, like, turn around and leave before it gets too freaky.
Yeah.
Like, just run back to your car and be like, all right, bye, demon, you're done. And, like, I feel like, why, like, what? And I get, the frozen spot is horrifying. It's like, oh no, but, like, come on, man, you saw that coming. She is not capable of escaping this.
Yeah.
Like, she is nowhere close to competent enough of a protagonist to make this work. So,
she gave it a bang up shot.
She gonna die.
Yeah.
She's gonna die.
How are they gonna make this a franchise if they don't have it passed on in some way?
Oh god, I hope not. I hope not.
We'll see.
I could see in the right hands it could, but I doubt that.
This movie's doing pretty decent in the box office, so
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's a good enough time. It is like,
I'd rather have
I don't want to compare it to something like Malignant, because Malignant was like over the top crazy awesome.
Like I said, Malignant was just a straight up practical joke of a movie,
but that's the thing.
In the best way.
Well, but also like a hardcore tribute to like Giallo movies and stuff.
For sure.
And like there's something about this movie that is a lot more subtle, a lot more just like basic tropey kind of stuff, but kind of hits that same spot where it's playing itself so straight, and it's definitely doing certain things for laughs, that when it goes over the top, like the couple points where it does, it's really entertaining, and it does it well, and the other elements are like good enough that you can enjoy it either seriously or from a funny perspective, and I like that balance. I really like it, and it's not as good as Malignant, but still,
Malignant was
pretty good.
A unique beast of a film.
Yes, it was.
But as far as like horror movies that come out this year, since it's been pretty dry, you got a decent selection, all things considered.
Yeah.
So yeah, worth watching.
Yep.
I'd probably watch this and Don't Worry Darling again.
Oh, you watched Don't Worry Darling?
Yeah.
I still need to watch it.
Don't.
No, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I have to.
Okay.
But like, it's one of those things where I have not heard a single person say they liked it, and that kind of makes me more excited to see it. That's because I'm that person. Because at the very least, I'm gonna watch Florence Pugh act her ass off through a disaster.
She does act her ass off.
Exactly, and that's all I care about. Yeah. So you know what you're getting.
I just feel so bad for Chris Pine through that whole experience.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. We'll see.
No, it's mostly to the press conferences for that movie to see him have like that 1,000-yard stare of just like, I'm in the middle of a fucking disaster now.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde, what has she done?
I don't know.
What happened between Booksmart and now? Like, and all the drama surrounding the movie. Have you heard about all that shit?
Yeah, I'm up to speed.
Yeah. Okay. There are some good videos about it on the internet. We don't need to.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Smile. It's good.
Smile. It's good. Yeah. All right. So now, Human Centipede.
Okay. Bye.